do know what a holodeck is. And yeah, it's something much more than just putting on like a Google Cardboard or, well, what's that? The Optimus Rift. Not the Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is something completely different, but the Optimus Rift, and then there's something View, I think. So yeah, VR, much different than just putting something over your eyeballs. Number 2 on the list, you might actually be able to see the emotions of someone else. Now, no, they're not talking about you're able to read their facial expressions or their body language. They're talking about some kind of tattoo, and that is in air quotes here in the article. And yes, I realize they're not air quotes in an article, but I'm using air quotes. New Deal Design, the firm behind Fitbit's trackers, is working to create tattoos that visualize emotions. For example, a glowing pentagon could express love when holding your partner's hands. Now, this is just really, really strange, and I don't know if it's something that I would want to wind up getting. And I say that as somebody that has, and I'm going to do some counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tattoos, if I counted correctly. So yeah, it's not like I'm one of those people, oh, I'm never getting a tattoo. No, I have several. I just don't like the idea of this weird emotion viewing tattoo thing. Number 3, and this is something that has been hypothesized for a good while, relationships with robots. Now, without actually reading the little paragraph they have here, I'm just going to quote Futurama and say, don't date robots. Number 4, the end of awkward silence. Real-time artificial intelligence could analyze video data at high speed and ease awkwardness by delivering instant feedback, conversation starters, and live dating advice into our brains. That sounds like an episode of Black Mirror. Could very much be an episode of Black Mirror. Number 5 on the list is very outdated already, even though the article is only a couple of years old. I'll tell you what it is here in moments on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
This is Brian McQuaid from the Resist the Empire podcast, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Number 5's outdated, you say? What is it? What? And yeah, I realize that's the question that I'm going to answer right now instead of on Friday. That's because I'm doing the article right now. Number 5, Vine breakups. Yeah, Vine sort of ceased to exist a little while ago. That's why this one is outdated. However, what they have written down here, not outdated, and probably has already happened a time or two. They say, as we continue to sacrifice our privacy on social media, it may become normal to publicize our most intimate moments. Yeah, that's already happening. There are already people that say, if it didn't happen on Facebook, if it's not on Facebook, it didn't happen. By 2030, researchers imagine a world where we record and share our breakups. Again, would not be surprised if that's not already happening. Number 6, matching by behavior patterns. We could eventually rely on big data to make better long-term relationship decisions, like whom to date, whom to marry, and how many children to have. This could help take the doubt out of breakups. And again, to some extent, aren't websites like eHarmony and OkCupid already doing this, to where you answer a bunch of questions, and then when you browse through potential matches, you look and see, oh, you're probably an 85% match with this person. You're a 70% match with this person. So that one already kind of happening. Number 7, matching by DNA. Contrary to today's dating site algorithms based on personality and location, a recent study suggests that people might actually be more likely to choose mates with similar DNA profiles. Now, they don't delve into that, but that one is rather interesting. And finally, number 8.
The Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 15th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.87 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,353 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $41, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,733. Antiwar.com reports the leadership of Turkey, Iran, and Russia have all agreed to attend an upcoming summit in Istanbul on the topic of Syria, with the date of the meeting to be decided soon. Looming large over this is U.S. relations. Those three nations have met in the past on trying to get a peace process going in Syria, but right now the big issue on all their minds is increasing hostility from the United States. Turkey's invasion of northern Syrian territory has them facing potential conflict with U.S. troops embedded in Manbij. The Pentagon has made clear their presence in Syria is at least in part intended now to fight Iran, and over the past week, U.S. forces killed scores of Russians in the east. Those three nations weren't seemingly all seeing eye to eye on Syria, but the acrimony with the United States risk being a major unifier for them, with countering the U.S. agenda in Syria likely a top priority for all. We've already seen some shifts in this direction, with reports claiming Russia has endorsed Turkey's invasion of Afrin, and Russia seen pushing Israel to stop attacks in southern Syria aimed at Iran.
For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the city of Berkeley, California voted to make the city a sanctuary for adult cannabis users and sellers. Cannabis is already legal for recreational and medicinal use in California, but the plant is still illegal under federal law. The Berkeley City Council's decision will add a layer of protection for adults who use cannabis by prohibiting local law enforcement agencies from cooperating with the federal government to enforce federal cannabis prohibition. The City Council's measure was taken after Attorney General Jeff Sessions said the Department of Justice might enforce federal cannabis prohibition laws on a larger scale than under the Obama administration. The resolution states increased federal enforcement of marijuana will have serious social and economic consequences. Uncertainty about potential enforcement and/or enforcement itself may force established medical and adult use cannabis-related businesses to close or move underground, which could impede the development of newly regulated markets and threaten public safety. The resolution says the cannabis industry generates $1 billion in tax revenue for the state of California and an additional $3 million for the city of Berkeley, adding the cannabis economy is also generating hundreds, if not thousands, of well-paying jobs with benefits that would be threatened by the increased federal enforcement. Berkeley's mayor praised the vote and said he believes the city can balance public safety and resisting the Trump administration. The mayor tweeted, "In light of threats by Attorney General Sessions regarding a misguided crackdown on our democratic decision to legalize recreational cannabis, we have become what may be the first city in the country to declare ourselves a sanctuary city for cannabis."
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Reuters reports a private lawyer for President Donald Trump says he paid $130,000 of his own money to adult film star Stormy Daniels, who once claimed she had an affair with Trump more than a decade ago. The payment to Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, was made during the 2016 presidential election campaign, but the lawyer, Michael Cohen, said he was working alone and that it was not a campaign expense. Cohen said in a statement issued on Tuesday night, neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me for the payment either directly or indirectly. Daniels was quoted as saying in a 2011 interview with In Touch Weekly that she had an affair with Trump after they met at a Lake Tahoe golf tournament in 2006. Trump has denied having an affair with Daniels. Cohen's statement was in response to a complaint filed at the Federal Election Commission by the Common Cause Watchdog Group. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
A new study finds most high school graduates are woefully unprepared for high school, and a bag of flour has a slave auction on its front. This is the Onion Week in Review. This week, Secretary of Labor Thomas Perez unveiled plans to boost the nation's struggling job market by giving every unemployed American a self-serve yogurt shop, saying that the frozen yogurt business model is robust, profitable, and that they've pretty much exhausted other options. Perez explained that owners will be responsible for stocking their own topping bars with items such as Oreo crumbles, minced kiwi, cashews, and gummy bears. Estimates indicate the country will need to increase daily consumption of frozen yogurt by approximately 2.3 gallons per person in order for the new stores to remain solvent. And in this week's local news, something is apparently going on between a mom and her friend. In other news, Taco Bell warns its employees against ever exposing their skin to its food. A sad man tears 2 bananas off of a larger bunch, and a new report finds everything you've ever wanted has been right in front of you all along.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm going to start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Verdcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say.
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus Network satellite.
This is
the Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live here from the Vertcoin studio this wonderful Thursday afternoon, joined by they are my Call to Freedom Classic crew. Mr. Tom Gray, broadcasting from, as he corrected me last week, somewhere in the area of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And Miss Aria Demezio, our queen of crypto herself, from cryptocurrencycheck.org. How you folks doing tonight?
Old Granddad's back.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Well, that's just how you were in the first place. That's not any change
right.
about by the grandchild. Oh, so everybody's still doing good? I wasn't on yesterday, so I haven't heard like health updates or anything on Mama and Baby.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Mommy is Well, she's just having other difficulty type issues instead of, it's family kind of stuff. So, and the robbery actually really, really hurt her too, because my mom not having ID now doesn't really have the ability to fly home. So,
jeez.
So now she has to take the car home, get all of her ID and everything in order, and then drive back to Florida again before my daughter can get her car, which meant that the baby missed its first doctor's appointment because my mom is down there and she caught strep throat. So now she's grounded an hour and 20-minute drive from where my daughter is in DeLand because my mom's at my sister's house. So, it's a mess. And my flight was Tuesday. I had to come, and it was $250. They would have, if I canceled, they would have charged me an additional $250 per ticket.
Lovely.
Spirit Airlines.
That's in addition to not returning.
That's
you were
right.
$250. Holy crap.
That's right. Spirit Airlines, man. That's what happens when you fly with Spirit.
Fly the friendly
And when you
skies.
get government monopolies.
So, but yeah, we're happy though. I mean, she's a beautiful baby, so that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah,
she's healthy.
I mean, that's the big thing.
And mommy had to have a cesarean. The doctors are idiots. The baby was halfway through the birth canal and got stuck because my daughter had run out of steam after being awake and induced with labor for 2 or 3 days. That she'd been in labor.
Ugh.
So she was wore out. And as a result of that, she was just unable to finish pushing the baby out. So they cut her open and then they had to pry the baby out from the inside halfway down the birth canal. It was awful. So, yeah.
They're really I hate hearing super early induction stories because those are the ones that are really, really preventable. All you had to do was,
wait.
Yeah, measure twice so you don't have to cut once. It works in wood and it works with uteruses.
Right. Measure twice so you only have to cut once. Exactly.
Does it work with circumcisions?
Ooh.
Dang. Well, I hope you measure more than twice. I hope before you do any of that. But anyway.
How you been, Tom?
We held it down okay, I think. We had some good times. We talked about lions eating people and lady parts and what Duarte wants to do to them. I mean, we generally did everything we could in your spirit to try to get your show off the air while you were gone. So
right on.
In other words,
Good
just
job.
holding down the fort.
Holding it down. Getting it done. Getting it done. So I came prepared today with stories for us. I did. I did my job today. So I've got one here. Now this is from the Washington Examiner, and I wanted to make sure because we covered this when the story broke yesterday. I want to hit a little bit of this before we get into the break. This is from the Examiner, and it's there's a popular BS article going around among the left that says that there have been 18 school shootings so far this year. And it's patently false. And unfortunately, the Washington Examiner has to remind people of that. It says, what we saw at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, is no less shocking and horrific than every school shooting we've seen since Columbine in 1999. 17 people were killed at the hands of a 19-year-old suspect, Nicholas Cruz, who was expelled from the school and banned from returning to campus.
For being 19 and still in high school?
Right. It's the type of shooting that makes you sick to your stomach. You want to get all the facts and gather all the information you can to ensure such a tragedy as this never happens again. However, the media has been trying to convince you that these types of shootings, where there are mass casualties, are happening every day. It began on Wednesday when reporting on the developments of the shooting, MSNBC host Brian Williams said it was the 12th shooting of 2018. Andrea Mitchell reports 12th shooting in America in just 45 days. What an appalling number. Ever since then, the talking point was corrected and that there were actually 18 school shootings in 45 days. And that's according to ABC News. And in many, both the media and politics, have used it as a rallying cry to make some legislative push to impose new restrictions on guns. The problem is, well, it's not quite accurate. There haven't been 18 of what we would refer to as school shootings. The media is either sheepishly or deliberately moving the goalposts and widening the definition of what constitutes a school shooting. Of the 18 school shootings as listed by the pro-gun control group, we'll get into those as soon as we get back here. I've got 18 different shootings here that pro-gun control groups are saying are school shootings, and I'm going to want your opinion. So give us a call, 603-283-6160. Tell us what you think about this list. We'll be right back.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 megahertz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.FM.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. I am your host, as always, Will Coley, broadcasting live here from the beautiful Vertcoin studio in Keene, New Hampshire. Come on up here and visit us here in our little crypto community. You can get your, you can get your car fixed with Dash. You can buy the most amazing cheeseburger you've ever had in your life with Bitcoin. You can buy a new water bong, or you can buy a newspaper. You can get a pack of smokes. Really, the only thing you can't get up here is gas. With Bitcoin, that's pretty cool. So come up here for a little while. Visit us in our little crypto community here in Keene, New Hampshire. Tour around. Maybe you might decide you might want to move. Maybe you just come up because you want to hit one of the great events like Liberty Forum or Pork Fest, which is coming up soon. Either way, come visit us up here in our little slice of freedom and slice of heaven. Aria is going to be coming up soon, we hope, to live and be neighbors. Indeed. So yeah, come on up here. Enjoy our little slice of freedom. I just left Florida, and you know what? I just couldn't believe I couldn't wait to get back up here. I couldn't. I got down there as soon as I stepped off the airplane. I just looked. I mean, it is Florida, though. To be fair, I would have felt the same way if I had just left Tennessee. Or hell, probably. Something. But, you know.
How would you know you'd left?
For real. So, well, you know what? I'm part of this story is the absolute selling out of Michael Strahan. So I want to play this clip. It's about 1 minute and 44 seconds long, and then we're gonna actually tackle this list shooting by shooting. So just a moment.
As we've been talking about this morning. We remember, of course, this scene from Columbine in 1999. and the one in Parkland just yesterday. Our Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has a closer look at the disturbing statistics we're now seeing. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. Those 18 school shootings so far this year, shocking. 7 of those incidents classified as intentional attacks resulting in 1 or more deaths or injury. The other incidents, guns going off in schools and suicides or attempted suicides. They're becoming so common. In our quick search last night, we found at least 4 thwarted attacks in the last year, including one just yesterday.
Now you heard that, right? Even they admit, they totally just admitted that there haven't been 18 school shootings this year. There have been some accidental discharges of a firearm, and there have been some attempted suicides and an actual suicide, but not 18 what would be classified. Because first she invokes Columbine, right? That's a school shooting. Columbine. That's
right, to get people emotionally charged.
Exactly. And then they bring on the quote-unquote expert, and basically he's like, well, yeah, I mean, Columbine, sure. Those kids committed suicide. So, yeah, committing suicide is totally the same as shooting up the school and then committing suicide.
Yeah, the other thing is that they're equating shootings / weapons discharges on college campuses with those on government school campuses.
Yesterday, where a grandmother in Washington State discovered her grandson was allegedly planning a deadly attack on his classmates with guns and bombs. He was 18 years old, and police say he had a journal where he talked about studying other mass shooters to increase his body count, Robin.
Oh, my goodness. And with this shooter yesterday, Pierre, he seems to have been on the radar. He was expelled from school. There seemed to be so many warning signs, and yet how do we still end up here?
That's the sobering question. Time and time again in these cases, we find warning signs missed, but these are not easy issues. Sometimes people say things and law enforcement follows up, but finds that there's not enough evidence to arrest anyone or have them evaluated. But this case, for sure, people will be asking the question, how could someone with these anger issues and potential postings on social media not be flagged after having bought that assault rifle, especially if those comments about wanting to harm people turn out to be true, Robin?
Just one of the many questions we have this morning. All right, Pierre, thank you.
Well, now hold on a minute. He was flagged by the junior ROTC as someone they wanted to recruit for the American military.
Yeah.
Because
Makes sense.
He was a member of the junior ROTC, which presumably is where he first learned how to handle a firearm in the first place, right there on the school campus. And they, by the way, other members of his JROTC unit are the ones who said, yeah, he was off the rocker. Yeah, he was crazy. And yet, there he was in a program that is designed to recruit people for the American war machine. And yet I have heard nothing from any media, right, left, middle, up the button, around the corner media, any of it, that has talked about that connection. Seems a little bit important, doesn't it?
Yes,
especially
it does.
If you're going to start lumping all weapons discharges in schools together, why are you not looking at a program that actively goes into schools and teaches kids how to shoot guns for the purpose of sending them overseas to do the bidding of the federal government?
To murder kids overseas, yeah.
Exactly.
Says, this statistic comes from a group called Everytown for Gun Safety Support Fund.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
That sounds unbiased.
First on the list,
does that include Aleppo?
A man committed suicide using a gun in an elementary school parking lot when the school was closed and no children were present on January 3rd in Clinton, Michigan.
And they're counting that
as a school shooting, yes. Shots fired at New Start High School near Burien, Washington on January 4th. No one was hurt or injured, no suspects apprehended. Translation: probably a discharge of a firearm not far from the school.
Well, I live about a half a mile from a school, and there are people in my woods shooting all day, every day. According to those standards, that counts as a school shooting.
Oh, my God. A 32-year-old man shot a pellet gun at a school bus, shattering a window in Forest City, Iowa.
For Pete's sake.
No injuries reported. Suspect apprehended. A Grayson College student confused a real gun with a training gun and accidentally fired a bullet into a wall on January 10th.
Hold on, who did that?
A Grayson College student. Most likely, let's see here.
College. Can you lefties hear that? College. It's not one of the schools that you threaten to jail parents if their students don't attend it. Aren't those the ones that you're concerned about? The ones where all the kids are sitting ducks and are forced to be there by the state? No, you have to lump everything together.
Gunshots fired at a campus building at Cal State San Bernardino. No injuries. 14-year-old 7th grader shot and killed himself inside the bathroom of a Colorado elementary school in Arizona on the 10th.
Tragic,
but still
for
not
entirely different reasons.
Yes, but it's still not a school shooting. Not a school shooting. So, weigh in, guys. You guys have an opinion on this issue, give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
派手にやろうぜ。音楽だったらぶっ倒れるまで踊り続けるぜ。そんなバカな。わあ早く早く。ジャンゴ。
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. We've been talking about this story here. School shootings. The left has decided that anything involving a gun anywhere near a school now is school shooting is the same thing as Columbine. Definitions of words are no longer a thing. We'll just redefine everything. And racism, that's just being white. School shooting, well, that's just if a gun goes off in the vicinity of a school, well, it's a school shooting then. We're just not gonna call things what they are anymore. We're gonna call things something else, and hopefully not get. I mean, I don't really understand personally. To me, reality is reality.
It's a thing.
It is. It's a thing. It's a real thing. Words are real things. Words have real meanings. A dictionary is a thing. It's a book. Try one out. You can even Google the definitions of words. It's not that hard. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like these folks have the ability. Now, let's see here. Here we go. Now, this maybe you could construe as a school shooting because it is a shooting. It is in a school. Number 7 on their list, 2 people in a car exchanged gunfire at Wiley College dorm parking lot. That's on January 15th. No deaths or injuries reported, no suspects arrested. However, 1 bullet was fired into a dorm room that had 3 female students inside.
They're
bad,
voluntarily,
yes.
not forced there by truancy laws.
I guess by the strictest definition, yeah, they're all school shootings. I mean, they're schools, and a gun was shot.
In some way, shape, or form, even if accidentally.
But
so technically...
I can't help, though, but keep coming back to this issue that nobody, especially on the left, seems to want to address, that the uniqueness of school shootings is that the victims are forced by law to be there under penalty of their parents going to prison.
Yes.
And that's when you compare a college shooting to that, then you're comparing apples and oranges just as much as if you compared a school shooting to, say, a shooting at a private business. So to me, that is as egregious. That to me is actually more egregious than lumping accidental discharges or suicides at public schools in with mass shootings at public schools, because at least there it's the same freaking type of place.
Yeah.
Public school, college, 2 totally different places. One involves significantly more government coercion for the victims of the shooting to have to be there.
All right,
and that's what makes them soft targets, though, and that's why these psychos
hit
when
them,
they
exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
and familiarity too, because they were forced to be there for 4 years and they know their way around a little bit, and they have relationships with the victims, all of them to some degree.
Sometimes the relationships with the victims are part of what causes the shooting.
Almost always. There's at least some element of that.
Yeah. Well, back to the list here. It says a Winston-Salem State University football player was shot and killed at a sorority party following an argument that was off campus. So a sorority, I don't really count a sorority as on campus.
Yeah, well, in Tennessee they're not because they're considered brothels by law, but in some states they have sororities on campus.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that to offend anyone who's in a sorority. That's actually a problem in Tennessee law, is that our state colleges have to push the sororities off campus because otherwise they're in violation of an arcane state law that says the state can't run a brothel. And more than 3 women living under the same roof with no men is considered a brothel. Something along those lines.
Well, you have a 16-year-old male student who shot a 15-year-old female student in the cafeteria at Italy High School in Italy, Texas on January 22nd. The victim was injured and is expected to make a full recovery. Shooter arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This actually is a school shooting. So we're up to 1. An unknown assailant in a pickup truck drove by the Net Charter High School in Gentilly, Louisiana, shot at a group of students on January 22nd. A 14-year-old boy was thought to have suffered a graze, but it turned out that it was an abrasion. So now we're up to 2 school shootings, 1 with injuries. A 15-year-old male student shot and killed 2 students and wounded 18 others at a high school in Benton, Kentucky. The shooter apprehended. So there's 3. 16-year-old student fired a gun at another 16-year-old student during an altercation at Murphy High School in Mobile, Alabama. No injuries were reported. Suspect taken into custody. I guess you could call that.
I get it though.
Students were shots fired in the parking lot during an altercation between 2 non-students during a basketball game at a Dearborn High School game in Dearborn, Michigan. 32-year-old man shot and killed in the parking lot outside of a Lincoln High Philadelphia school on January the 31st during what police believed to be an altercation between students from rival schools. 12-year-old female student accidentally fired a real gun thinking it was fake. 4 students injured, including one who suffered a gunshot wound to the head.
But that was in the shooting by the girl who didn't know how to shoot a gun? Or are we talking about 2 different ones?
Different one, I believe.
Okay.
3rd grade student pulled the trigger of an officer's holstered weapon at a learning center in Maple. Does that mean we're going to say officers can't have them as well?
Look, another instance where the gun was introduced into the environment by a government agent.
Teenage boy shot in the chest and nearly killed by another student who conspired with the boy's ex-girlfriend. Suspect taken into custody. Let's see here. 17-year-old student arrested after firing a gun into the floor of a classroom in the Bronx. And then a shooting yesterday that ended up with 17 dead. So it looks like their list of 19 school shootings is actually more likely 5. And of those, only 1 is a classic school shootings. The rest are just altercations that happened with a gun. Like these weren't like planned out, we're going to go in and murder everybody in the school kind of school shootings. They were an altercation between 2 people.
I mean, that's exactly it, though. The left has screwed up. They played their hand wrong. They've made it clear that their concern isn't the victims in any sense. I mean, they're defining school shootings not by whether or not there are victims, as we're doing. They're doing it by whether or not a gun was there and whether it went off, whether anyone was hurt or not. I mean, their issue is just guns, period. It's not about people being hurt. It's not about people being shot. It's just guns.
And you know what? I've actually argued with some of my liberal friends recently, and you guys might have seen it, that they would get a lot farther politically. And I am not at all saying I agree with this. But if they were just plain honest about the fact that they want to get rid of guns, they would get further politically than these stupid half measures that everybody can see are transparently not related to the actual problem they claim to be solving.
Very true, very true.
But they don't want to be honest.
Do you have an opinion? Let us know. You can call in on our Discord line or on Skype at lrn.fm or at 603-283-6160. We'll be right back.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. This final segment of the first hour of tonight's live broadcast. Oh, Lord, man, I've been up since like 6-something this morning, which is like 3 hours before I normally get up. So I'm a little bit tired tonight. But I'm joined tonight, thank goodness, by my classic crew. So they're able to back me up a little bit here. And we've been talking about this story, well, from the Washington Examiner, where they're basically saying anytime a gun was discharged within the vicinity of a school, well, then that's a school shooting.
Or really any place where people are learning things.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
You know, other than my house, because people learn things at my house. We homeschool our kids. Anybody noticed, by the way, the common thread among all of these school mass shooters?
None of them involve homeschool kids?
Mm-hmm. And all of them involve public school kids.
I mean, there may very well be plenty of accidental home firearm discharges among kids that are homeschooled, but I mean, it's not being reported as a school shooting. It would just be reported as a home accident, right?
Well, they do. I'm sure they do report them that way, and if they thought of it, they'd come after us in the same way.
I believe you're correct.
But we don't make as big of news because you can't really have mass shootings where there aren't masses of people. And you don't usually have masses of potential victims in places where they are forced to be by the government against their and their parents' express consent every single day for a minimum of 250 days a year or whatever it is. It's at least 200 and is it 220? Is that what it is for public schools?
It's way too many.
It's way too many.
As someone who attended a public school, it's way too many.
Yeah.
Well,
and yet, I know that we try to be journalists and intelligent here and try to present facts and such. At the end of the day, 17 kids are dead and are never coming home to their parents.
That's right.
And the freaking political left wonders why there's no traction on any of their proposals. Maybe it's because before those kids are even in the ground, they're jumping into this nonsense where they just, instead of talking about what actually happened or talking about the value of human life or talking about the everyday stresses on kids that are exacerbated by the system, talking about the utter inability of these public schools to handle even basic mental health issues. I mean, this kid, they had, I wouldn't even call it warning signs per se. I mean, he had troubles from the beginning. He was an orphan. He was attracted to violence in a way that caused the government to target him as a potential future soldier. And yet, the only way they knew how to handle him was just to kick him out before he could even... It doesn't seem like he even finished his public school education. Finishing.
No, he didn't. And
yeah,
the solutions that the state has are cookie cutter as always. Either kick him out or dope him up, or if doping him up doesn't work, kick him out. And then they come back and they shoot the school up, and no one seems to think, well, I wonder if it has anything to do with these pills that we keep, jacking them up on. And why does it seem like all of these crazy people are on these meds when they do these things? Why?
That part I hadn't seen. Do we know what he was on?
We haven't seen that with this one yet. But I'm fairly sure, because it always happens, within 4 or 5 days, it's going to come out that he was on some type of a psychotropic medication. And it's not just, I mean, we've got shootings like the Orlando shooting was called a terrorist attack when it was basically the same thing as this school shooting is. And he was on psychotropic meds. but they called it a terrorist attack because he was Muslim. It makes it different, you know. And we've got to stop using context to decide what, you know, like, oh, well, this guy is a brown person, so that means it's terrorism. Oh, well, this guy is, you know, if it had been one of the Muslim kids, we'd be calling it a terrorist attack. You know?
Well, they were ready to call it something like that when they found out the kid's last name was Cruz, and then it turned out he was part of a white supremacist group.
There you go. See?
Oops.
I mean, that's that right there is what I'm talking about. Like, everything is built along these lines of hyper-partisanship. We were having a conversation about it last night on Free Talk Live. Everything, like, facts no longer are built upon facts. They're built upon, well, what's the opinion of my team? And that's what reality is built around now.
And there's never any questioning of whether your team is made up of a bunch of losers who need to rethink their entire existence.
Well, no, because that means maybe you are as well.
Perish the thought that it might be you who needs to change in order to see the change in the world around you.
Oh, well, no, man.
If only Gandhi had said that or something.
I'm perfect. Gandhi was a racist.
Well,
sorry. I'm perfect, and Gandhi was a racist.
He grew up in the 50s. Of course he was a racist. I mean, he was a human being. I think it's evident at this point. We're all a little bit racist. There's even a song about it in the great Broadway musical Avenue Q. Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. Doesn't mean we go around committing hate crimes. If we all could just admit that we're all racist a little bit, and everyone stopped being so PC, maybe we could live in harmony.
You're gonna have.
I'm not going near that.
Right?
I didn't write that. That's a Tony Award-winning musical, right?
You're gonna have to send me a clip of that.
You haven't seen Avenue Q?
No.
I'm gonna send you a clip of it at the break, and I guarantee we're gonna play at least one clip from it as a bumper once you start listening to the songs. You're gonna fall in love.
Right
anyway,
on. I need some coffee. To fall asleep at the wheel over here.
I've already got my backup cup made because honestly, that story dropped last night, and I just thinking about it honestly as a father of two is exhausting. It's just emotionally exhausting just to contemplate what those parents are going through, and then before you even like get your empathy on, you get bombarded with crap like what we've been talking about, where they want to pigeonhole just these dead kids into these pre-existing, prefabbed political arguments. Before,
well, I've seen it from both sides.
It's definitely there for both sides. Like I said, the hard right was ready to throw itself a little party when they found out the guy's last name was Cruz, and then by the way, the white supremacist group, the Republic of Florida is the name of this white supremacist group he was part of. I'm sure that's giving Will horrible flashbacks, the idea of a group called the Republic of Florida.
Right.
That wants all the white people in Florida to be the supremacists of the world. They handled this with a level of PR expertise that is honestly both shocking and slightly frightening when you think about it. They got out in front of the story. They knew it was going to come out before too long, that not only was this kid a white supremacist, but they, in their own words, he had participated in paramilitary exercises with this white supremacist group. But they got out in front of it and has apparently successfully diffused it, because nobody seems to be talking about them. I don't know how the junior ROTC got out of culpability. I'm certainly talking about them, but nobody else.
Because they're the government.
Because they're
for real, yo. The media, like, you have to remember, these people are sponsored by like Raytheon, so they're not going to say anything to undermine. Like this is no longer Walter Cronkite's media anymore. So you're just going to have to get used to that. When we get back here in just a little while, it'll be time for the Crypto Hour. So stick around for that. Be sure to call in too, 603-283-6160. We'll be back on the other side here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up. We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 MHz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 15th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.87 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,353 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $41, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,733. Antiwar.com reports the leadership of Turkey, Iran, and Russia have all agreed to attend an upcoming summit in Istanbul on the topic of Syria, with the date of the meeting to be decided soon. Looming large over this is U.S. relations. Those three nations have met in the past on trying to get a peace process going in Syria, but right now the big issue on all their minds is increasing hostility from the United States. Turkey's invasion of northern Syrian territory has them facing potential conflict with U.S. troops embedded in Manbij. The Pentagon has made clear their presence in Syria is at least in part intended now to fight Iran, and over the past week, U.S. forces killed scores of Russians in the east. Those three nations weren't seemingly all seeing eye to eye on Syria, but the acrimony with the United States risk being a major unifier for them, with countering the U.S. agenda in Syria likely a top priority for all. We've already seen some shifts in this direction, with reports claiming Russia has endorsed Turkey's invasion of Afrin, and Russia seen pushing Israel to stop attacks in southern Syria aimed at Iran.
For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the city of Berkeley, California voted to make the city a sanctuary for adult cannabis users and sellers. Cannabis is already legal for recreational and medicinal use in California, but the plant is still illegal under federal law. The Berkeley City Council's decision will add a layer of protection for adults who use cannabis by prohibiting local law enforcement agencies from cooperating with the federal government to enforce federal cannabis prohibition. The City Council's measure was taken after Attorney General Jeff Sessions said the Department of Justice might enforce federal federal cannabis prohibition laws on a larger scale than under the Obama administration. The resolution states increased federal enforcement of marijuana will have serious social and economic consequences. Uncertainty about potential enforcement and/or enforcement itself may force established medical and adult use cannabis-related businesses to close or move underground, which could impede the development of newly regulated markets and threaten public safety. The resolution says the cannabis industry generates $1 billion in tax revenue for the state of California and an additional $3 million for the city of Berkeley, adding the cannabis economy is also generating hundreds, if not thousands, of well-paying jobs with benefits that would be threatened by the increased federal enforcement. Berkeley's mayor praised the vote and said he believes the city can balance public safety and resisting the Trump administration. The mayor tweeted, "In light of threats by Attorney General Sessions regarding a misguided crackdown on our Democratic decision to legalize recreational cannabis, we have become what may be the first city in the country to declare ourselves a sanctuary city for cannabis."
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Reuters reports a private lawyer for President Donald Trump says he paid $130,000 of his own money to adult film star Stormy Daniels, who once claimed she had an affair with Trump more than a decade ago. The payment to Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, was made during the 2016 presidential election campaign, but the lawyer, Michael Cohen, said he was working alone and that it was not a campaign expense. Cohen said in a statement issued on Tuesday night, "Neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me for the payment either directly or indirectly." Daniels was quoted as saying in a 2011 interview with In Touch Weekly that she had an affair with Trump after they met at a Lake Tahoe golf tournament in 2006. Trump has denied having an affair with Daniels. Cohen's statement was in response to a complaint filed at the Federal Election Commission by the Common Cause Watchdog Group. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
For over 12 years, Halverson Enterprises CEO Peter Weathers has taken a hands-on approach in all aspects of the tech firm's growth and day-to-day business. But employees say the executive's true talent lies in his unique ability to recognize great ideas and then absolutely ruin them.
For as long as I've worked here, Peter has been able to sit down in a meeting, listen to a million different ideas, pick out the one that makes the most sense creatively and financially, and then totally destroy it until there's basically nothing worthwhile about it left. He's remarkable.
Employees throughout the company say they're most impressed by Weathers' ability to water down promising ideas with meaningless jargon, consistently choose the wrong person to head up every project, and inject virtually every halfway decent thought with his own short-sighted and terrible insights.
At our all-hands meeting the other week, our team put forth a very feasible plan to boost productivity. And it was really incredible to see Peter's mind at work, just taking every good aspect of our proposal and dismantling it like a small child.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. On the Call to Freedom.
That's right, it's time for the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Are you new to investing in the crypto industry? Well, you know what? If you don't want to do all the legwork, let me introduce you to Helium.com. It's a savings accelerator, And, well, I just had my first balloon pop a few days ago. I made a $17 profit on a $1,500 investment, which doesn't sound like very much, but you have to remember that the markets were in the process of a complete and total free fall during that time. So to turn a small, extremely modest profit during that is actually pretty good. And the reason for that is they have a bot that they've designed that it watches the conversion rates between cryptos and fiat currencies. And it moves your money when the time is just right. See, Helium lets your money move you. That's helium with an E.com. That's HELEUM.com/CTF. Get your great deals for being a Call to Freedom listener. So we welcome here to the Crypto Hour, and we've definitely got quite a few stories here that I thought were particularly interesting for Crypto Hour this wonderful Thursday afternoon. Let's see here. Where is, well, let's go with Litecoin. Now, this is something that I want to cover because I want to make sure our listeners know and understand. Litecoin is basically just a copy of Bitcoin. It's not a more secure version of Bitcoin. It's a totally public ledger. It's just like Bitcoin.
Yeah, hasn't it basically become just a test network for Bitcoin? Like it introduced SegWit before Bitcoin did, didn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure. I have to check, but I think so. Well, this here, it says a recent study has revealed that Litecoin is the second most adopted means of payment among dark marketplaces. Study also indicated a significant increase in the adoption of Monero among English-speaking platforms. Dark marketplaces, they've increased in altcoin adoption. A study conducted by the Recorded Future involved the analysis of 150 leading dark web message boards, marketplaces, and illicit services in order to ascertain the scale of alternative cryptocurrency adoption on the part of criminal entities in response to rising Bitcoin fees. Recorded Future states that, quote, the meteoric rise in popularity of Bitcoin among household users, speculators, and institutional investors since mid-2017 has placed an enormous load on the blockchain network, resulting in larger payment fees. Study revealed Litecoin to be the second most dominant currency among dark marketplaces, with Litecoin payment systems being implemented on 30% of platforms analyzed in the study. So, a study revealed that despite the Recorded Future's claim to have identified an increasing number of members of cybercriminal underground, expressing a growing dissatisfaction with Bitcoin as a payment vehicle. Now, Aria, you and I both predicted this before, did we not? That this was going to happen, that as Bitcoin's fees went up and it became a thing, you were going to see you were going to see people move away from Bitcoin, and yes, that includes in the dark market.
Yeah, I mean, because it sucks. But I think we actually covered a news story about it. And ransomware people moving away from Bitcoin to other cryptocurrencies with smaller fees.
Yeah, I don't remember if we talked about Litecoin specifically with that, but that this is part of a trend. Crooks don't like to get stolen from either anymore.
Well, I mean, if Western Union charged 15% essentially on a transaction, people would stop using them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people have stopped using it anyway, and they were charging a lot less than that. So why would people put up with the fees of the folks over at BTC unless, there were other compelling reasons to do so?
It's also why we say that sales tax discourages people from spending money.
Well, this here says that, it turns out that the popularity of Monero is growing in English-speaking dark marketplaces. A significant growth, actually, in the popularity of Monero, not matched by Eastern European counterparts. Among English-speaking platforms specifically, Monero was found to be second most popular means of payment, with XMR payments being integrated into about 15% of platforms. Litecoin was identified as the third most adopted payment channel among English-speaking marketplaces with 11%, followed by Dash, and then Ethereum with 9%. Eastern European platforms, Litecoin is the second most popular means of payment, with 35% of dark markets implementing a Litecoin payment integration. Dash, the third most adopted, with 24%, and Bitcoin Cash 15%, Ethereum 9%, and Zcash 4%. XMR is only 3% in non-English speaking European platforms. Do you think there's any significance to that? Like, I wonder why that is. Why is it that Monero is popular in English-speaking markets, but not in European markets?
Customer support?
I was actually wondering why they bothered to, draw that distinction in the first place. I mean, why separate the two categories? Is there something special about Eastern Europeans that warrants their having their own category? Why not lump all of the data together?
For white folks, there's more Eastern Europeans using crypto than there are English speakers. Well, not English speakers, but like Americans and like English, Western Europe. The further east you go, the more cryptocurrency usage you find.
Eastern Europe is also kind of the hotbed of cyber crime that doesn't have anything to do with a government per se. You find cyber crime coming out of Russia, coming out of the Koreas, coming out of China that's got some government backing, but in Eastern Europe, it's become kind of a private enterprise, and so that's why Eastern Europe is the most often studied when it comes to cybercrime, just because that's where the most sophisticated private cyber criminals seem to be, and it's become kind of a staple element of their economy.
Yeah, well,
I just saw that was the U.S.
I saw a headline just a little while ago that the head of Chechnya is buying cryptocurrencies now to keep up with the economic evolution. So I guess, it's the adoption rate is much higher over there. So that's why they're breaking it into these different categories. Give us a call, weigh in with your opinion, 603-283-6160, or join us on Discord or on Skype at lrn.fm. This is a Call to Freedom, and we'll be right back after this.
Free speech is protected on the internet, right? Not always. Government agencies try to limit free speech and commerce on the net. Luckily, when they do, the Institute for Justice is there to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. IJ helped set the first federal precedent for internet free speech in 1999, and ever since has worked to prevent unconstitutional roadblocks in cyberspace. Visit our website today at ij.org.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Sources are confirming your dog died earlier today, and we're all really sorry you had to find out about it like this, buddy. Though it's a lousy thing to have to learn from an online web video, and even shittier to hear from a cold, hardened newsman's voice that you can't put a face to, your pet passed away in his sleep while you went out today, and we understand how shocked you must be right now. Sources added that there are many local shelters with animals in need of a good home, though we understand that no dog can ever truly replace the one you just lost. I lost a dog once, but my mom was the one who told me about it, and she was quite the comfort. In this week's op-ed pages, Pantene CEO Marcus Russo laments feeling like the only one who gives a shit about rich, lustrous hair. In other news, a study finds that newborn infants can tell if their parents are losers. A man who just assembled a desk is unsure how he has every screw left over, and Jeff Beck is lured into a dark alley with the old guitar pick on a string trick. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
is the Onion News Network.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom on LRN.FM. أنتم تستمعون إلى The Crypto Hour. يقدم إليكم برعاية Helium.com على برنامج نداء للحرية على LRN.FM.
Right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. And joined here by my normal co-hosts, the classic crew, Mr. Tom Gray and Miss Aria Demezio. And we've been talking about a story here. Well, basically, Litecoin has been, is taking over. And part of the reason for that is, Bitcoin's fees and things like that. But the other coin that's becoming particularly popular is Monero. Now, it turns out that there is a fork of Bitcoin that is coming that seeks to solve that problem. And I'd like to let you guys decide whether or not you think that's going to be true. It says here, Bitcoin's latest fork is just weeks away. This one's a little different from the rest. Rather than simply tinkering with SegWit or adjusting block sizes, Bitcoin Private, BTCP, is adding ZK snarks. The privacy-enhancing feature is best known for its use in the Z family of coins, including Zcash, Zclassic, and Zencash. Now, that's not surprising given the fork is being instigated by Rhett Creighton, who's simultaneously forking Bitcoin and Z Classic on February 28th to create BTCP, which will be available to holders of both coins. Like all forks, Bitcoin Private is not without controversies. Bitcoin's underlying code hasn't changed greatly over the years, but the ability of law enforcement, the IRS, and other busybodies to scrutinize blockchain activity has. Whereas once Bitcoin could be used on the deep web and everywhere else, well, with a reasonable assumption of privacy, doing so today is fraught with risks. The use of privacy coins such as Monero is a direct response to this gradual erosion of privacy. February 28th, the snapshot of the Z Classic and Bitcoin blockchains will be taken, and holders of each cryptocurrency will be eligible for Bitcoin Private, distributed at a 1-to-1 ratio once the BTCP main net launches a couple of days later. A total of 20 million coins will be created by combining the circulating supply of Bitcoin and Z Classic. When the fork was announced late last year, it caused the price of Z Classic to shoot up from around $44 on the 22nd to its current price of around $99. Anyone interested in claiming their maximum allocation of Bitcoin Private makes sense to load up on Z Classic, given it's under $100 and magnitudes cheaper than a Bitcoin. As of this date, the hard fork looms closer. Z Classic is likely to rise further still. Smart thinking or a cynical ploy? Well, unlike most Bitcoin forks, BTCP seems to have been well thought out. It has a proper development team, and the code is in the process of undergoing extensive testing. One of the reasons why the fork date was only announced recently was to allow time for BTCP wallets to be thoroughly tested. While it's too early to assert that the fork will go without incident, the signs look promising. Many of the recent Bitcoin forks in comparison have occurred with scant GitHub activity and buggy wallets. The BTCP team have been eager to avoid a repeat of the sort of problems that besets forks such as Bitcoin Gold. The biggest question surrounding the launch of the coin, though, is why? Why go to all this bother to implement a privacy technology that already exists in a family of coins? The second question surrounds what happens to Z Classic after the fork. Rhett Creighton has declared that Z Classic's development will continue to be supported, but there seems to be little purpose for its existence following the launch. Z Classic is widely expected to dump in the aftermath of the fork. Finally, there's the question of which exchanges will even support the coin. At present, Cryptopia and Bittrex are the only major exchanges where Z Classic can be traded. It's assumed that these platforms will also distribute Bitcoin Private, but there's no confirmation yet. So, I mean, Binance, they've applied. Yeah, storing coins in Electrum wallets prior to the fork. If nothing else, it will be interesting to see how Bitcoin holders bother to claim their BTCP. The results should give an indication, no matter how imprecise, the extent to which Bitcoiners value their privacy. Then again, should Bitcoin Private attain any sort of market value, many will claim their free allocation simply to cash out. So yeah, Bitcoin Private. What do you think, Arya?
I think that it's like trying to use a pair of pliers to hammer in a nail. Bitcoin will never be private again. It was only private in the very beginning, and that got tossed out the window in favor of other considerations, such as making money. I don't see it ever being private again, and I think that if people want privacy, they need to go to one of the privacy-based cryptocurrencies instead of, using the wrong tool for the job.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Why? I mean, I don't mind getting free coins to just cash out and make get a little extra money. But why would I use Bitcoin private when I can use Zencash? I mean, seriously, why?
Yeah, and
why?
I mean, you'd have to find somebody who wants to buy Bitcoin private.
On top of that, exactly. On top of that, you'd have to find somebody that's even willing to take it. Why would I go through all that when I've got Zencash?
Why not just fork Bitcoin yourself using that website tool?
Yeah, I could use some
coin. Because it's new and it's novel and it's attractive to the people who are in this for the newness and the novelty, I suppose. That's
newness.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they sound like too.
What do you mean
newness?
Newness. What do you mean newness? Crypto's been around for
no, not the newness of crypto.
Years.
The newness of this particular thing. I mean, the ones who get into the newness every time there's a new hot coin on the market.
Gotcha. I gotcha. They just jump in because it's something to jump into. I gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll be back here with a little bit more on this privacy coin craze that hopefully will be coming soon when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
My name is Angel Rach. I'm a mother of 2 teenage children, and I fought all the way to the Supreme Court for the right to use the medicine that saved my life. I've been permanently disabled for 10 years, with an inoperable brain tumor, wasting syndrome, and several other serious conditions. For 4 years, I was in a wheelchair, in so much pain I couldn't even hug my kids. The hardest part was looking in their eyes and seeing how much they were suffering because of my medical condition. The medicine that gave me my life back and gave my kids their mom back was cannabis, also known as medical marijuana. With medical marijuana, I can walk, maintain my weight, and I can be a mom. Without it, my doctors believe that I would die. To learn more about medical marijuana, contact Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or on the web at mpp.org.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
Live from the Vertcoin studio. This is the Call to Freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium 47 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, you color 5 to get some free coins. This is the Call to Freedom.
That's right. This is the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are brought to you live from the Vertcoin studio here in Keene, New Hampshire. Another day above freezing, so another good day here in our little crypto community as it warms up slowly. And we've been talking about, Bitcoin private, where you have basically the idea is let's take Z Classic and let's fork it together with Bitcoin and see what kind of a baby we get.
That's it.
Giggity. But like Aria's not buying it. I'm not really buying it. I mean, I'll take it if it's free. Is it free?
Well, technically, no. I mean, it's just like any other kind of inflation. Its value will have to come at the expense of Bitcoin Core's value, at least initially.
Right. There you go. Speaking of Bitcoin Core's value, I've got a story here from Jamie Redman. Says last year, Bitcoin had a phenomenal run leading up to its all-time high of 19,600 per Bitcoin this past mid-December. The price over the past few weeks had since dipped as low as 5,900 on Monday, February 5th, losing close to 65% of its value in a short period. The dip has wrecked a lot of cryptocurrency traders, but the richest Bitcoin holders have gained thousands more Bitcoin, taking full advantage of these significant price variances.
I don't think it's over yet.
Oh, well, I'm hoping it's at the very least stabilized.
Right, I get that. I just don't think that it is.
It says here, Bitcoin whales use big price swings to accumulate more wealth. And cryptocurrency enthusiasts understand that digital currencies often fluctuate in price, and over the years, many traders have been able to take advantage of these swings. Essentially, if a trader can guess the top and sell their coin, then follow that maneuver by buying back at the bottom, that individual can gain a lot more coins. One particular group of Bitcoin holders that have taken advantage of these swings time and time again are the top 100 richest, quote, Bitcoin whales. The individuals or groups of people known as Bitcoin whales hold vast quantities of cryptocurrencies, and they can sometimes use their assets to, quote, move the market. According to data collected from bitinfocharts.com, most of the 100 richest Bitcoin addresses haven't lost any money during the last 65% dip. In fact, their stacks of Bitcoin increased exponentially. It's almost as if when we say, hey, you, stop panic selling and hodl, we know what we're talking about.
Almost, yes.
Almost. Quit panic selling out there, you bunch of sissy noobs. This is not stocks, man. We are not in the stock market. This is cryptocurrency. It's an emerging technology. Hold on. It'll be back. Chill out.
It will, in fact, emerge, as it were.
Right? Take, for instance, the owner of the most substantial of amounts of Bitcoins located at one address, which currently holds 167,000 coins at the time of writing. This wallet started collecting Bitcoin approximately 2 years ago when the address recorded its first deposit of roughly $840 worth of Bitcoin. Now, there's $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin held in the wallet, as thousands of coins have been collected since its inception. Coincidentally, this Bitcoin whale has been able to acquire a lot more Bitcoin during each meteoric rise in value, and the typical dumps that follow soon after. 2017, there have been 6 major corrections that have seen Bitcoin lose over 30% or more of the value at the time. And this particular whale has gained more funds every single time.
Well, I can't blame him. No. I mean, I would too if I had the money. I mean, it's not his fault that there are so many noobs out there panic selling.
You never know. You might know him. You might know him. Any one of us could know this person and not even know. They don't know. Bitcoin.com doesn't know.
Kind of the point, isn't it?
John McAfee, is that you?
Right. John.
Maybe somebody who works for him.
There's a couple people I can think of that it could be. And that are savvy enough to have done it the right way. Problem is that 2 years ago marker.
Yeah.
Bitcoiners have had many whale sightings. You can often see forum posts and Twitter conversations concerning these market movers during big price spikes and subsequent dumps. For example, November 12th, 2017, when cryptocurrencies were reaching new price highs, blockchain speculators noticed a 25,000 coin dump was sent to the exchange on Bitfinex. Wow, 25,000 coins. We talked about that change on our night broadcasts. Said most affluent Bitcoin holders have been a controversial subject for quite some time. Mainstream media likes to assume that 1,000 addresses own more than 40% of the market. Some speculators believe whales can even contact each other, which could lead to enormous Bitcoin market movements. Kyle Samani, the managing partner at Multicoin Capital, believes this theory. States, I think there are a few hundred guys. They all probably can call each other, and they probably have. So now the accusation is that the market is controlled from the inside.
Well, at least libertarians aren't the ones wearing the tinfoil hats this time.
Right.
Well, let's not rule them out yet.
I mean, well, we know that miners essentially conspired together to manipulate prices and transaction fees.
Says here that a research report published last fall reveals that the assumption that 1,000 people own 40% of the Bitcoin market is actually false. According to data collected by the Bamboo Club, many models of the current distribution of Bitcoin wealth that analyze wallets and addresses usually, quote, always fail.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know. It could be one person owning 99% of Bitcoin and we wouldn't know because they could just store it all in different wallets. You could own 99% of all Bitcoin and we would never know.
I wish.
Well, Is there something
I
you're not
wish.
telling us?
Shoot.
I mean, it
I
could be
wouldn't have
3
spent all
people
that
out
time
there
trying
owning
to get on
Bitcoin,
Kraken.
and the rest of us scrambling to get a slice of it, while these 3 people own almost all of it, and we would never know. It's like being on an internet forum. It could just be one person and one other person running 50 different accounts.
Yep.
Could be one Russian running 100,000 Twitter accounts.
Yeah. Could be.
I'm saying.
You never know. Could be. We'll find out.
I mean, to me,
We'll
that's
talk
the
about
value of it.
All right. We'll talk about that when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets. Free Talk Live.
Group of lefties who I talked to about secession, and they were of that attitude of, no, damn it, we must take back Washington, D.C. for the liberals. And, you know, like this constant struggle over power is what they're into. They're not into freedom. They're not into, you know, independence or being able to decide for themselves.
They want to shove whatever their version of tyranny is down the other person's throat. Oh, yeah? You don't like Bush? Well, take a little Obama then.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You don't like Obama? How about some Donald Trump? We'll build you a wall. And the fact is that politics, it is a threat.
Yeah.
If you don't think that Trump is a threat against your neighbor, how did you feel about Obama? Did you find him threatening? Because I can tell you gun sales skyrocketed under that guy. Can we please stop threatening our neighbors?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com.
आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है helium.com।
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, joined by my Call to Freedom Classic crew, Mr. Tom Gray and Miss Aria Demezio. And we've been talking about the price dip, 65%. Well, it basically gave an opportunity for many people who already held a lot of Bitcoin to buy a whole lot more. It says, it's not, yeah, right here, what Aria was saying, people were hollering about, oh, well, you know, this one wallet's got all this, and there's 1,000 wallets, and they've got 40% of the market in those 1,000 wallets, and so it means 1,000 people. And it's like, well, actually, according to the Bamboo Club, it's not to say that it's not true by definition that one person only has one wallet, and with that one wallet uses a single Bitcoin address. So, yeah.
Right, my Coinomi wallet has, I think, 20 active right now.
Mm-hmm. It says, for a start, a person may hold many Bitcoin wallets, and a wallet can make use of many addresses. Indeed, it is advisable to generate a new address every time you use your wallet for reasons of anonymity. So the relationship can be many. That makes no sense grammatically at all.
Power through it, Will. Power through
I'm
it.
sorry, man. Sometimes news.bitcoin.com's writers do this, and it's just like, wait, what? Whales are getting bigger, but it only takes 15 Bitcoin to be in the top 1%. Essentially, using a different method of data collection, Bamboo Club derived the distribution of global wealth and the global ownership of Bitcoin numbers. Then the researcher mapped the wealth distribution to calculate a better Bitcoin distribution analysis. According to the study, there are more than 25 million Bitcoin owners, and it only takes 0.15 Bitcoin to be placed in the top 30% of the most affluent Bitcoin owners. Moreover, you only need 15 Bitcoin to be in the top 1%, according to data.
That's astounding.
So I have more than how much do you need? 0.1. I have more than the top 15% in Bitcoin. Woohoo! I'm rich, bitch! No,
Apparently so.
I've only got a couple grand, but yeah.
I think they meant you had to have, well, you have a couple of grand BTC or a couple of $1,000 worth of BTC.
Well, 0.153 BTC at the moment. Let's go over here to Bitcoin averages, Bitcoin converter, and we will see just how much 0.153 Bitcoin is and current market values. I'm going to say it's about $1,500, just a little over $1,500. But let's
seems reasonable.
Plug that number in. Bitcoin 0.153. Bitcoin is worth $1,545. I currently have. Well, I don't have. The mosque currently has 0.204 Bitcoin.
As you add facts, this assertion by you gets less and less impressive as far as your personal wealth.
2,000. Oh, yeah, I'm poor. I'm poor. The mosque owns $2,061 worth of Bitcoin, which would mean that the mosque is in the top 15% of Bitcoin owners as far as the mosque's Bitcoin wealth.
So how big of a gap would there have to be between like the top 1% and the top 15%?
Now you're talking like a liberal, are you? It's
pretty
How
huge.
much of a gap
Well, I
is
mean,
there
it would-
between the top 1% and...
No, it's a legitimate question because I
It
mean,
is,
if it only takes 0.2 Bitcoin to be in the top 15%, then you got to figure that the top 1% is going to take like 2,000 or 3,000 Bitcoin.
It might, yeah. But I mean, when you talk about 15 Bitcoin being the top, was that what it was? If you have
15 Bitcoin, and you're in the top 1%. But
so
you
that's like
only need
$150,000 or so.
you only need 0.15 Bitcoin to be in the top 30%. So having 0.2 Bitcoin would put you in the top 15%, reasonably, correct?
Well, and that's wallets, right? I mean,
Yeah.
of course, it couldn't be anything else.
So, quick refresher for me and for the listeners, because you guys have talked before about Roger Ver early on, like to get people to get a Bitcoin wallet, he would give people Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin was it that he was giving at the time?
10
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So if you and your spouse had gotten those free wallets from Roger Ver and just
They're worth
held,
They're worth 1,011,000. Wait, no. Let me make sure I got that right.
Nobody held them that long. They sold them at 500, I guarantee you.
$101,105.66.
wow. So if you had held that, you'd be more than top 15% if you and your spouse had held those two wallets together. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you had bought Bitcoin when it was a penny each, we would all be millionaires.
Well, we wouldn't all be millionaires, just the people who bought it. But yeah, pretty intense. But trust the economists, they're all going to be worth absolutely nothing soon. All of them, every single one. I read it on Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh yeah, Goldman Sachs said so.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be worth $0.
Oh, so from the Discord chat, we do have a quick update. A breaking story here. Where'd it go? From Coinbase, the company that is not really crypto, from their Twitter account an hour ago. We're investigating an issue where some customers, they were recently charged incorrectly for purchases of digital currency with credit and debit cards. This is related to the recent MCC change by the card network and the issuers charging additional fees. We've identified a solution. Any future purchases will not be affected by the issue. We will ensure any customer affected by the issue is fully refunded for any incorrect charge. We expect this to happen for customers automatically through their bank.
It's putting a fair amount of trust in the bank there.
I mean, it seems above the board, though. I mean,
yeah, Coinbase itself seems to be being above the board. I mean, what else?
They get a lot of crap, but
yeah, I mean, think about,
It's because they're not crypto, though. I give them crap because they're not crypto.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, about how much crap the big banks would get if you actually aggregated all the crap in the way that complaints about cryptocurrency exchanges are aggregated.
Well, Coinbase isn't supposed to be crypto. It's supposed to be that gateway for the ordinary person. Something simple to use, something safe, something secure, something that, won't present them with 4,000 different cryptocurrencies and just leave them overwhelmed and buying something that they absolutely don't understand and is likely to be a scam coin. That's the value of Coinbase, is that it's...
The thing, though, is that a lot of these people, they would buy that with or without Coinbase.
That's why Coinbase doesn't give them the option.
I know people who are straight up just like you have to yell at them almost and tell them no, you cannot do that. I will not take your money. I will not invest you up to your eyeballs in this coin that you know nothing about. No, I will not do that. It's not
Smack
right.
them on
It's
the
not
nose with a newspaper.
fair, And they don't want to hear it. They want you to just throw their money away and piss it out the window because they want to get rich quick.
Yeah, it's that profit enticing. That's all they care about. And Coinbase sort of acts to protect them from that, from their own stupidity.
But in the process, they comply with the IRS, which completely defeats the entire purpose.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 15th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.87 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,353 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $41, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,733. Antiwar.com reports the leadership of Turkey, Iran, and Russia have all agreed to attend an upcoming summit in Istanbul on the topic of Syria, with the date of the meeting to be decided soon. Looming large over this is U.S. relations. Those three nations have met in the past on trying to get a peace process going in Syria, but right now the big issue on all their minds is increasing hostility from the United States. Turkey's invasion of northern Syrian territory has them facing potential conflict with U.S. troops embedded in Manbij. The Pentagon has made clear their presence in Syria is at least in part intended now to fight Iran, and over the past week, U.S. forces killed scores of Russians in the east. Those three nations weren't seemingly all seeing eye to eye on Syria, but the acrimony with the United States risk being a major unifier for them, with countering the U.S. agenda in Syria likely a top priority for all. We've already seen some shifts in this direction, with reports claiming Russia has endorsed Turkey's invasion of Afrin, and Russia seen pushing Israel to stop attacks in southern Syria aimed at Iran.
For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the city of Berkeley, California voted to make the city a sanctuary for adult cannabis users and sellers. Cannabis is already legal for recreational and medicinal use in California, but the plant is still illegal under federal law. The Berkeley City Council's decision will add a layer of protection for adults who use cannabis by prohibiting local law enforcement agencies from cooperating with the federal government to enforce federal cannabis prohibition. The City Council's measure was taken after Attorney General Jeff Sessions said the Department of Justice might enforce federal cannabis prohibition laws on a larger scale than under the Obama administration. The resolution states increased federal enforcement of marijuana will have serious social and economic consequences. Uncertainty about potential enforcement and/or enforcement itself may force established medical and adult use cannabis-related businesses to close or move underground, which could impede the development of newly regulated markets and threaten public safety. The resolution says the cannabis industry generates $1 billion in tax revenue for the state of California and an additional $3 million for the city of Berkeley, adding the cannabis economy is also generating hundreds, if not thousands, of well-paying jobs with benefits that would be threatened by the increased federal enforcement. Berkeley's mayor praised the vote and said he believes the city can balance public safety and resisting the Trump administration. The mayor tweeted, "In light of threats by Attorney General Sessions regarding a misguided crackdown on our Democratic decision to legalize recreational cannabis, we have become what may be the first city in the country to declare ourselves a sanctuary city for cannabis."
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Reuters reports a private lawyer for President Donald Trump says he paid $130,000 of his own money to adult film star Stormy Daniels, who once claimed she had an affair with Trump more than a decade ago. The payment to Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, was made during the 2016 presidential election campaign, but the lawyer, Michael Cohen, said he was working alone and that it was not a campaign expense. Cohen said in a statement issued on Tuesday night, "Neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me for the payment either directly or indirectly." Daniels was quoted as saying in a 2011 interview with In Touch Weekly that she had an affair with Trump after they met at a Lake Tahoe golf tournament in 2006. Trump has denied having an affair with Daniels. Cohen's statement was in response to a complaint filed at the Federal Election Commission by the Common Cause Watchdog Group. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
We have a breaking news blast on the tragic situation happening across the country in which more than 40,000 Americans have been trapped in a Confessions animal hoarding marathon on Animal Planet for the last 13 hours. The Animal Hoarders Marathon began at 9 this morning as victims were preparing for a full day before hearing the fateful sound of the show's opening credits. Almost instantly, thousands were pinned to their couches by a story of a heavyset homosexual living with his partner, his toothless sister, and 31 chihuahuas. Rescue workers rushed to free as many victims as they could.
The rope secure? Rope secure. We're gonna get you out of here. Just hold on a second, ma'am.
Wait, I think the next one is about monkeys.
Ready? Ready! Pull!
No, wait. Can I just see what happens with the feral cat?
In other parts of the country, rescue workers enlisted volunteers who had already seen the episodes to spoil them for the victims.
Oh, yeah, this one. This is about the lady living with the dogs in the trailer. She doesn't even get evicted in the end.
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Off the rails, you know it's time to raise ourselves. It's freedom like you never knew. Go back or past, say the word.
All right, we're back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM for the final hour of this live broadcast here from the VertCoin studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. It's, man, you know, I remember when the 2016 election was happening, right? And I someone was telling me, oh, well, you know, it's going to be different under Trump. He's not trying to make war with Russia. He's going to be like Ron Paul. As a matter of fact, there were some folks that I met through.
What?
Yes. As a matter of fact.
RonPaul.com endorsed Trump.
Right. There were a number of folks who I'd met through the Ron Paul campaign. Most of them ended up becoming Trump supporters. Some of them
fascists
ended up becoming Bernie supporters. And then the rest of them are still anarchists, which is, the majority, I would have to say. Ended up becoming anarchists. So that's why, it's surprising because of all the winning we're supposed to be seeing and the fact that this is supposed to be the anti-war days of America, the new Ron Paul in Donald Trump. Well, according to the New York Times, more Afghan civilians are being deliberately targeted, according to the UN. In Kabul, Afghanistan, an annual United Nations report released on Thursday offered a stark assessment of the 16-year war. That's right, folks. There are children that this year will learn how to drive that have not known a world without an occupation of Afghanistan. My daughter does not know a world without an occupation of Afghanistan, and she's got a kid. She's 18. And as long as she can remember, America has been bombing Afghan civilians. It says at a time when the American and Afghan governments are releasing fewer and fewer statistics, the Afghan army stopped publishing military casualty numbers in December. For example, the UN reports on civilian casualties as one of the few reliable indicators of how the war is even proceeding. Chilling statistics in this report provide credible data about the war's impact, says Tadamichi Yamamoto, the United Nations Secretary General's special representation for Afghanistan. The report comes out today after the top American commander in Afghanistan, General John Nicholson, issued an upbeat assessment of the Afghan army's recent progress, saying that, quote, the Taliban cannot win. In contrast, the United Nations report focused on a rise in attacks deliberately targeting civilians in 2017. Those attacks intended to undermine the authority of the Americans and the American-backed government. They accounted for 27% of all civilian casualties last year. You heard that right. Terrorist attacks, the targeting of civilians, we're only, in order to undermine America, we're only 27% of the civilian casualties last year. It says this category includes casualties caused by suicide bombers detonating in populated areas and targeted killings, but it excludes those caused by ground fighting, airstrikes, and explosions aimed principally at military targets, like some roadside bombs. All over, the 84-page report notes the number of civilian casualties declined 9% compared to the record numbers that we saw in 2016, driven primarily by a drop in casualties caused by ground clashes. It was the first annual decline in overall civilian casualties since 2012. So, we haven't seen a decline in the number of civilians murdered by U.S. military personnel or drone strikes, so still military personnel, since 2012. Let that sink in and kind of ruminate a little bit.
I'm still back on the part where they were telling us the Taliban can't win when I thought we already beat them.
When?
Like 2003. There was a banner and everything.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, all we did was restore the poppy fields.
Pretty much. Put the CIA back in business, their heroin industry.
And how's that working out for us?
Pretty good. It's not working out so well for Russia, but it's working out pretty well for us.
Well, not so
And it's
much
not working out well for the Afghans.
No,
it's not working out for them at all. Report also...
But they're brown, so...
Well, this report here also says that despite a stepped-up pace of aerial bombardments aimed at the Taliban and these Khawarij IS militants under President Trump's new strategy for the war, civilian casualties from airstrikes rose only 7%. The United Nations credited better targeting in the American-led air campaign compared with previous years.
The bombs are only exploding where we wanted them to. Sort of. In other words,
what I think is odd is that it's still a rise under Trump, but it's a smaller rise than under Obama. Mr. Peace Prize winning president himself.
However,
what if
we are still there, and there aren't really any plans for us to leave. And
we're never leaving. We're never leaving. Instability in the region that our being there causes gives the weapons companies a way to make money in perpetuity.
Yeah, I mean we're still in Germany.
You're waging war on the concept of fighting back. America and our corporate allies should be allowed to do whatever they want to without consequences for those who pay for or vote for the politicians who create the reality for these people on the ground there.
Well, I mean, that's exactly it. These idiots that we have voting act like there's no such thing as blowback. Act like,
culpability doesn't
it's
exist.
Totally okay for us to just bomb people. But, what would we do if, those 29 rockets we flew at freaking Syria? What would we do if somebody threw 29 missiles at us?
Because America, as a country, is autistic. Like I
would say arrogant.
I would say autistic. We have an autistic country. We have no ability. Our populace has no ability to understand what we know what we would do, but we have no concept to understand that other people have a right to react in the same way that we would. I mean,
not at all.
The United States military killed over 1 million people in 3 countries in response to 9/11.
Yeah, but don't tell them that. A million? What's that? Oh, well, they killed 2,000 of us. So that's even, right?
One attack on one building that resulted in a little over 3,000 casualties. The response to that was the murder of over 1 million civilians in 3 different countries. That's not okay. That's not reciprocity. That's not what this country was based upon. If you've got an opinion on it, let us know. 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 megahertz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.FM.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa, whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute. Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
I like it. I like that Will, I like it that you said, hey, why don't you guys run with a story? And then you played like my mating call music.
Right.
The Pokemon battle theme. It's like, this will rouse Tom to action.
Right.
I'm grabbing, as we speak, I'm grabbing my Pokeballs. And I'm prepared to pitch them.
Way too much info.
Welcome
All
back
right,
to the Call to
Tom.
Freedom on LRN.FM, by the way. Oh. All right. Metapod. So, I hate Metapod. Metapod is like the worst because he can't do anything except sit there and harden.
And evolve
Anyway.
into Butterfree. Better watch that.
Yeah, but you can get a Caterpie, and then you can evolve him into a Metapod that can do stuff other than sit there and harden. while you're waiting for him to turn it.
I mean, yeah, it could do like 1 damage return using tackle.
That's something at least.
A waste of time.
Or he can use string shot, and then he slows it down, and then you bring in you bring in like one of your big fat Pokemon after that. He usually can't catch a cold, and all of a sudden, super slow Pokemon gets squished.
Well, now
So,
I hear
speaking
Tom,
of slowness-
Tom has a story about a New York liberal supporting a consumption tax.
A couple of them, come to think of it. But you wanted to start with the one that's, I guess, a little bit nearer and dearer to our hearts here in Tennessee, huh? A tax very similar to the ones that the supposed fiscal conservatives in our home state, now my home state, not yours, imposed on us a while back.
Yeah, now Tennesseans will be paying like New York style prices for gasoline when Trump gets through with them. I
We
bet
can all
those-
be New York liberals, all of us.
Those Trump voting Tennesseans, I wonder what they got to say about that now.
That should be fun. Let's find out.
He's making America great again.
He's making America $4 gas again.
Well, there was
here we
actually
go.
a story. You know what? Who was it? Oh my goodness. Halloran Hilton Hill there in Knoxville on the radio talk station there had a lady that came on her show in on election day, and it was meant to be like this endearing thing, you know. She's this old woman who hasn't voted in forever, and Trump has inspired her to vote. Only she messes up and says, "You know what? I haven't voted since the 1960s when George Wallace ran for office." There ain't
remember
been
this.
nobody worth voting for since then.
I remember this, and I think we talked about this, and then we brought Halloran on the show one time, and we didn't talk about it then.
I think that was before. We had Halloran on before that thing with the lady.
Oh, wow. I've been on here longer than I thought. So anyway, on to the story from CNBC.com. Trump reportedly endorses 25-cent tax hike in gas tax to pay for infrastructure plan. No, I did not stutter. That's not 2.5. That's not 0.25. 25-cent hike in the gas tax. Quote, President Trump is calling for a 25-cent hike to the federal gas tax in order to pay for the White House infrastructure plan, according to multiple reports. The effort could face opposition from Republicans, yeah, right, some of whom are reportedly worried about increasing the middle class's tax burden, yeah, right, so soon after cutting taxes, yeah, right. Their only big legislative achievement under Trump, true. The current federal levy is 18.4 cents a gallon on retail gasoline and 24.4 cents a gallon for diesel. The increase floated by the president would presumably put the gasoline tax at 43.4 cents for regular and diesel tax at just under 50 cents.
Well, I mean, that's the state through and through. Instead of, trying to come up with bonds or lotteries or something to actually pay for roads like, would be at least a moral way of handling it, they would rather just tax us so that, driving on those roads becomes prohibitively expensive. It's just a different way of achieving the same thing. Instead of fixing the roads, just make gas so expensive that nobody drives on them. Problem solved.
So just in federal taxes, we're starting off almost 50 cents in the hole now.
Yep. And that would be about a quarter.
But it's the greedy oil companies. They're the problem.
Well,
they are a problem.
They're certainly not going to cut their profits to help give you any relief on this. That's for sure.
Amen to that.
Here's the... Naturally, the Democrats are very happy about this. The president repeatedly raised the prospect of a 25-cent hike for both the diesel and gasoline tax, said Senator Tom Carper, a Democrat from Delaware. Quote, while there are a number of issues on which President Trump and I disagree, today we agreed that things worth having are worth paying for, which is why we're going to make the American people do it instead of paying for it ourselves. No, that's not what he said, but that's what he meant.
Can you just say again that a Democrat agreed with Trump?
I know. That hasn't happened since last week when they agreed on a budget.
And the week before that when they agreed to spy on Americans.
Yep. Gosh, it's almost like they agree with him a lot. Who would have known when he calls Chucky Boy Schumer one of his best buddies? And he actually touts that he can do things that Democrats agree with. And when he can't think of anything else to do, he raises taxes and spends money on things, because we know Democrats love that. It says the federal government...
Republicans are supposed to be against it, so where are they?
Good question. Right. Well, we know where Rand Paul is. He's in timeout for the rest of his Senate term for actually bothering to ask, shouldn't we be doing conservative things now? Whap, whap. Bad Rand. Bad Rand.
Where's Ted Cruz? I thought he was supposed to be the grand poobah of, like, conservatarianism. Where's he at?
Well, he's busy trying to enforce his religious beliefs onto everybody via legislation. That's what he's up to.
He's decided on fiscal issues to get his nose right up Mitch McConnell's butt, which is especially hard because of the turtle shell.
I'd imagine that also makes it fairly unpleasant. Well, I mean, more unpleasant than usual.
He does look like the turtle from that damn movie. What is it?
He does.
Master of Disguise. I'm a turtle.
Are we talking about McConnell or Cruz? Because Cruz,
McConnell.
I mean, you say that it's unpleasant to have your nose up Turtle McConnell's
butt,
but
Cruz looks like a really bad, like,
bullfrog
Dracula costume.
Well, he's Uncle Fester.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, he is.
Yes, Uncle Fester when he was young. Oh my God. Oh. All right, well, we'll be back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM in just a moment. We should have some free coins.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Coming up on the back end of this live broadcast here on a wonderful Thursday evening.
And we love the back end.
I'm telling you, it is definitely my favorite part. Now I'm joined by my classic crew here. Mr. Tom Gray and Miss Aria Demezio, our queen of crypto, from cryptocurrencycheck.org. And Tom has been telling us that we elected a New York liberal. And as a New York liberal, of course, he loves him some consumption taxes.
Oh, yeah. You thought we were just going to talk about the gas tax some more. Oh, no. There's even more taxes. Double the taxes, triple the taxes, quadruple the taxes.
Did Obama pass a tax increase while he was in office?
He didn't really pass much of anything, did he? Because back then, Republicans were, kind of an opposition party. They were kind of, at least pretending to be conservative for a while. They don't have to pretend anymore now, though.
Yeah,
they are out. Oh, they are right out of that closet.
That's right. Now, before we get to the story, if you were listening, you heard the Galactic Systems drone satellite overhead looking for a lucky caller to drop $10 of a random Coinomi-supported coin to give us a call, 603-283-6160, and take your chance to win some free coins. To go ahead, take it away, Tom.
All right. So you're going to need those free coins for your internet purchases because Trump is at it again. Well, I say again. It's on the same day. Headline from Bloomberg Politics. Trump strongly favors imposing online sales tax. Steve, his Treasury Secretary, says. President Trump feels strongly that the U.S. should impose a sales tax on purchases made over the internet, Treasury Secretary Steve said Thursday. Steve, speaking at a hearing before the House Ways and Means Committee, said he has spoken personally with Trump about the issue and that the president does feel strongly that the tax should be applied. The prospect of an online sales tax has been a long-standing point of contention between internet-based retailers and their brick-and-mortar rivals. Trump has previously gone after internet giant Amazon.com Inc., saying last year that it does, quote, great damage to tax-paying retailers.
Which is a way of saying it does great damage to the government and its ability to extort people.
Ironic considering this next paragraph. Amazon began collecting sales taxes on purchases in all states that levy them earlier last year, despite an exemption that allows online retailers to avoid collecting them in places where they don't have a physical presence. But Amazon still avoids charging shoppers sales tax when they buy from one of its third-party vendors, sales that make up about half the company's volume. So imagine that. Amazon is committing the unpardonable crime of not trying to collect taxes in places where it doesn't exist.
Like New Hampshire.
Like most states. Not like Tennessee, though.
No, most states have a sales tax.
No, I mean most states don't have an Amazon physical plant.
Oh, well, no, they can't charge those taxes here because, well, you know, there's no sales tax here. Like I'm looking right now. I make quite a few purchases from Amazon via cryptocurrencies. My son, the one that just turned 7, he got a Grateful Dead t-shirt with like the tour bus on the front and the tie-dye looking. And my wife said he loves it so much that as soon as it goes to the wash and it comes back out, it's back on again, whether like as soon as it comes out. She doesn't even get a chance to put it away. It's like his favorite shirt. So I decided to buy him another Grateful Dead shirt from Liquid Blue via Amazon, because I can actually get Liquid Blue gear on Amazon for an average of $7 a shirt less through Amazon than I can from Liquid Blue's website. And it's the same shirts, and it's coming from Liquid Blue.
Well, they're going to fix that for you by making sure you pay your taxes.
And then I get an extra 22% off on this order that I'm looking at right here. It's a Liquid Blue Kids Grateful Dead Spiral Dancing Bears short sleeve t-shirt.
We're going to tax those bears, don't worry.
Liquid Blue All Mad Here Alice in Wonderland shirt.
We're going to tax Alice.
An X Protector Premium 2-color pack furniture pads. Felt pads in brown and beige.
Oh, we're going to tax the brown and the beige.
That's right, because that's what government does.
Now, let's be clear what we're actually talking about here. We're not talking about, I don't think, reading this, that we're talking about imposing state sales taxes on online purchases. We're talking about a brand new federal sales tax, because that's what the target is here. Because you see, because of the issue of physical presence, there's a constitutional question about whether states can impose their own sales taxes on online purchases. However, because they are instruments of interstate commerce, the federal government can impose a tax on them, and they'll tell you, it sounds like Mr. Trump will tell you, well, we got to put this sales tax on these purchases to level the playing field. But we all know what's really here. It's a whole new, big, fat, lucrative line of tax income for the government, for the federal government to spend on things that the federal government wants to buy, like bombs.
Yay! Trump's in office. It's going to be a Republican utopia.
Yay! I'm so glad that we talked about how RonPaul.com, which I don't know if it's affiliated with Dr. Paul at all on Raw, but
no, there was a huge falling out, lawsuits.
Good.
It was
Nonetheless, someone in the chat room noted that they reluctantly said that they would support President Trump after Arya mentioned earlier in the show that they endorsed him. Well, you should have been more reluctant. Maybe you should have been reluctant enough not to endorse him at all, because he is the same New York liberal that was running against him, except with less female parts.
Yeah.
Not more man parts, fewer female parts.
But ching.
But here we are. So we've got a 25-cent hike in the gas tax. We've got, yes, shout out to you, user. I'm afraid of mispronouncing your name, but it starts with Wick.
Wickawea.
Wickawea. Is that it? Is it supposed to be kind of a karate noise? Well, I made it a karate noise. Speaking of getting karate chopped, 25-cent hike in the gas tax, and a brand new federal sales tax on all your internet purchases.
Welcome to your tax-free what is it? A tax-free Republican utopia.
Yeehaw. Oh, and the deficit is only going up to $1 trillion a year.
Hey,
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is the final segment here on this Thursday live broadcast here from the VertCoin studio. And, man, I got airplane tired nonsense, early flight, then get woke up super early, and yeah, now I am just exhausted. Literally dozing off the show. Thank God for Tom and Aria. They have kept me.
It's about time you said that on
right.
air. Thank God for us, right, Aria?
That's probably the first time anyone has ever thanked God for me.
Oh, I doubt that.
That was supposed to be a joke. It just didn't land.
They might not have said it, but they were thinking it. They were. So Will, relevant to us as parents, did you catch that McDonald's is taking cheeseburgers off the Happy Meal menu?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Well, it's still available on request, apparently.
Yeah. The cheeseburger is still available on the request, and they're still listing the hamburger. So what do you think's going to happen?
Well, it's not cheese that they serve anyway.
It's not. I will share this. When I took my daughter to McDonald's before ballet yesterday, I ordered her usual, plain cheeseburger. And they handed me 2 pieces of bread with 1 slice of cheese in between. And I said to the guy at the window, "There's no meat on this." And he said to me, "Well, the ticket says you asked for no red meat." And I said to him, "No, I said just meat and cheese. If I didn't want my kid to eat red meat, I would have ordered the chicken."
Or not have gone to McDonald's.
If they start paying that guy $15 an hour, I don't know. We might just have to fold up and go do something else. I'm not.
Well, that's an interesting, because I eat a fair amount of fast food because it's easiest for me when I'm at work, and no, they don't do anything worth $15 an hour. I mean, that they do the bare minimum possible, and it's never right. Yeah. It's never right.
Like, there's bare minimum, and then there's not putting the burger on the cheeseburger.
That's true.
That's like less than the bare minimum.
My favorite is when you go up and you order, and they look at you, and they give you this look like they're doing you a favor by coming to work.
I don't think I've fully experienced that, but I don't read people's faces the way you do.
Oh, I have a number of times. Like, they just kind of roll their eyes at you and give you this look like, really? You came here and you're making me do my job? What the hell, yo? I didn't come in this bitch to work today.
You know, now that you put it that way, I guess I do understand what you're talking about. It's almost like government work.
Yeah.
Except
it's the DMV.
Except if you complain about the quality of work that's being done at McDonald's, you are slightly less likely to get shot.
Yeah.
Than if you do it at a government building. Slightly. For now.
For the moment.
Yeah, until they're stationing guards at McDonald's because, you know, somebody had a class there one time and then a few months later there was a gunshot fired a block away and now all of a sudden that's a school shooting. So now we got to crack down on the school.
Don't give them
shootings at
ideas.
McDonald's.
Well, no, they'll close McDonald's first because, you know, they have soft drinks and high-fat foods there, and we can't have that.
No, they'll just start making them serve like much, much smaller portions of the exact same food like they did in public schools.
Or leave off the meat on the burgers.
Did you guys, by the way, yesterday talk about this America's Harvest food box nonsense?
No, but they're bringing back government cheese, yo. Oh my God, I can finally have macaroni and cheese and grilled cheese sandwiches that are worth eating again.
Wow. Well, only if you're taking SNAP or TANF.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'll find somebody that wants to sell their government cheese for some Bitcoin.
Yeah, one of my liberal friends was like, well, what are they going to do if their kids are, you know, athletes and need a higher calorie consumption? And I was like, well, the schools will take care of that unless, you know, some president comes along and his wife decides to impose an arbitrary calorie limit on what schools are allowed to serve kids. Gosh, I hope that doesn't happen.
Idiots.
Hint, it did.
It did already. Sorry.
Yeah, that was Michelle Obama.
Oops.
Sorry, feminista friend who went to McAllister College. Your buddy, Michelle, totally did that.
Anyway.
I'm not actually sorry. So anyhow, we've covered, you know, at least two of the taxes that President New York liberal is planning to impose on us to pay for the stuff that he wants, totally predictably.
Yeah, I totally predicted it. I said, you know what? I'm going to see Republicans cheering on tax increases and most likely the creation of single-payer health care by the end of the Trump presidency.
That is absolutely coming.
We're halfway there. We're halfway. And you know what? I did the same thing with Obama in 2012. You know, he could bomb a Doctors Without Borders hospital and liberals would still cheer for him and say that they wanted to vote for him. And sure enough, you know, it comes out that he literally dropped 26,000 tons of bombs his last year in office. And these people are like, yay, I miss him so much. He was such a great president. He was so much better. Better based on what? Based on the number of children he murdered? Not really. I mean, is that a yardstick that we use anymore? Presidents, whether or not they're good, can be weighed in the number of children that they unapologetically murder, the number of the charitable organizations that they drop bombs on.
You know what else President Trump did?
I mean, so far, George Bush is a better president than Obama. At least he didn't bomb Doctors Without Borders hospitals.
Speaking of killing children, you know what went completely unnoticed and undiscussed? The fact that with nary a peep, The Republicans refunded Planned Parenthood, and President Trump signed it into law within hours. After I had to listen to all that garbage from my evangelical friends about how this sweet little baby Christian baby Donnie was going to restore the rights of the unborn and stop the filthy liberals from killing the babies. Nope. Guess what? Part of his filthy New York liberalism is that he is and always has been pro-abortion, which if you know...
Pro-choice.
Well, no, I'm going with pro-abortion because I fully... By the end of his term, we will find out President Trump paid for someone to have an abortion.
Right.
We will find... That's coming.
That's coming eventually. And we all want to see the evangelical community's reaction to that. It'll be great, and you can bet your butt we're going to cover it here on the Call to Freedom. So come back tomorrow and see if tomorrow is the day. Here, same time, same place. Call to Freedom tonight. Free Talk Live is coming up next from Mexico. Stick around for that.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up, we've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19